leaving the train station already with a profit of over 4 million, raking it up. Holy cow, welcome back. This mega train that we're building here, that's gonna be one profit hell for us. And I don't even know where I put the money from this train alone. Yeah, well, how is it looking right now? The thing is, I needed to adjust a few things. It was actually transporting oil, like raw oil, over to the other platform. That was pretty crazy. And of course we needed to make sure that in the line manager here we tick off the raw oil, because we only want to get the refined oil and the fuel in both directions, so the more valuable good in that case here. Now that is coming in. The oil, the fuel refinery leveled up already in an instant almost, as we made up more customers now on the other end of my map. Here we have now our oil refinery, where 2 truck routes are working tirelessly to get the refined oil in. This one's already leveling up now as well as a result of that. There's 200 refined oil waiting already on this line. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna make this one longer, because of course that's what this is all about. Let's take this train here and add a bunch more tank cars now. It's already working on mediocre levels, right? But as you can see, we can get the mediocrity all the way up. This is still mediocre, by the way. This is still working fine with a capacity of 378. That's too much. So let's go down to, let's say 250, right? 250 should be fine to get this one here going. It's getting a bit longer with that. And as we can see, yep, it is slowing down in this area here. This is the slowest part of the train line, even though we already made a bridge to reduce the slope here. But it's still not enough, of course. We could make this one even faster by getting rid of the bridge entirely and starting the tunnel here already, right? That could be something. Or we're just waiting for more powerful locomotive. Now, you know how I've been talking about a very long tunnel that we cannot afford yet, but since this route is getting so profitable, it is pretty slow though, right? So it's going up here all the way, then into a tunnel, and then all the way down again. If we spend 20 million, we can make a tunnel that is straight without any slope. So this is just a straight line now, all the way below Saxmundham, right? So this is all below the ground now, deep below the ground. And then it comes back here, but this would not be the end of it yet, because we still want to make sure that we get also rid of that slope here. And that means, there you can see it. That's my costs. It's coming along together here more or less. And this will lead then to 33 million that we have to pay for this. But it would be a straight line. It would be no slope, no increase, no decrease in altitude. 33 million would be the total cost for this. It's actually really easy to build this one. So yeah, I'm gonna wait for a bit more money to roll in, and then we probably could do this. Now I bought it, I spent it, and the train is now running at full 80 kilometers an hour all the way through. And let's just see how a full haul with top speed over that distance brings us in, because I'm pretty sure that we're gonna paying off that tunnel in no time for this train. This is still only one locomotive. I think it's longer than the station already. Barely. Very good. And this was 7 million for this haul, right? It's almost full the other way around again. In both directions. Perfect. 7 million per direction. That could lead to a very nice profit. Alright, ladies and gents, we continue with the next mega project that I have in mind now. Now, there are 2 cities over here that need tools. You know that we already have a tools factory here, right? That is already leveling up. The thing is, we do have a tools factory here, but it makes sense to have one big factory over having smaller factories, because this small factory here will never have enough customers to produce everything. The thing is, and that's why I want to do this here, is that there is a plastic production possible. So we have the oil refinery here, we got the plastics production, and you can have tools and plastics being delivered on the same train. That means we can make a full train going here between those 2 cities here. That would have the tools factory as a new customer, right? So 2 more cities that we can attach now to this factory here, and we get the plastics back home. What we're doing with the plastics then, I show you later, because right now we want to get this one cracking. So this is going to be a major project, and this will take a bit of time here now again. So for this, we're going to need a train station with potentially a lot of space. So we're going to make this one somewhere here, right? Let's make sure, yep, this will work. right? So I'm gonna have this word somewhere here. I want to keep a bit of space there for platforms, for tracks, and for more truck depots down the road, because this is gonna be a major distribution area here at some point, right? With that, we got it. And by the way, actually, my bad, we need to make this one long. Oh, it's already the 320, really? It looks tiny. Can we make this one longer than 320? We can. All right, that's the great thing. So we can make this one even longer because we're gonna need that. So this one delivers now the tools over here, and this will be a very expensive train route to make. Here we have the tools coming out and the plastics coming in. So it makes sense to make this one here into a new distribution center. So let's just make a road here that goes a bit in a straight line, right? Because you want to have a nice train here attached. This one goes down again around my plastic center. And the plastic center will then have a connection with that oil refinery over there, probably over this road there. Yeah, this can make sense, right? And up here we have then our truck for this. There you go. On top of that, we have the oil refinery here and plastic refinery here, right? And the oil well here. So here we can also make a train connection. Oh my goodness, this is gonna take time. Sorry, pals, for this, but we are planning something big here, something that will last the ages. So let's get rid of all of that. And in fact, I'm gonna try and make the connection here, right? So that we can connect this one with that. Can we do this? Yes, there's the connection, right? Yeah. Get rid of that again, and we also don't need that road up there, honestly, right? So we should... Okay, this is very close. We can make this work. If we make a connection here, this would be absolutely epic. Let's just try it out here. Still not possible. It is possible. Now we have both of them connected. There you go. That's the first part, the connection between the well, the refinery, and the plastics production. Next is the line to the tools factory. There you go. The total cost for this one will be 28 million, which is a bargain. It is a straight line. It has no slope, so it should be at max speed all the time. And also it is a bit scenic, right? It goes here across the river there, and it also goes across the lake here. Of course, that's absolutely mandatory. We can still do something else though. We can, because this is looking a bit nasty. I don't like it so much. So perhaps we sacrifice a bit of efficiency and make the connection. Yeah, okay, let's do this a bit differently. By putting the tracks, because here comes the track, right? So I'm just gonna make it so here. And then here. Alright, so now we're going around that lake, and now we can make the direct connection. The cost is still the same for this small fraction of tracks. Bear in mind, only the first track will cost this much, right? So every additional one will be way cheaper than that. The only thing that we still need to have then here is definitely a... Can we have a bridge over that? Or... Because this is a main road, right? So it's very important that we keep this alive. And... If I get rid of that now, it gives me the message that I just disconnected two cities from one another, which is not a good thing to do in this game. So let's just make this one, because, you know, these are automatically generated roads here right now. They're looking crazily bad. So we can make this one a bit more beautiful by creating some more curvy roads. So I'm gonna make sure that we are going above the tunnel area here, right? Oh, this is not possible? Now it's possible. And then we just take this one here. There you go. This looks much better now than before, and we still have the connection, right? It looks cleaner as well. And you have then this central crossing there for all of that. Very nice. So this is the first connection. We're, by the way, also connecting those two cities here right now. They haven't been connected before. They're so close to each other, and there was actually a gap in here. And we can now use this to get my trucks over then here. I mean, I'm always trying to keep this a bit clean, the whole thing, right? So this looks also pretty crappy. So I don't even get a message, right, that I've disconnected the cities, because they were never connected in the first place. And now we can make that connection possible. There's then my fuel. And we do have also my tool depot then somewhere over there. It needs to have a connection with the train station. That's the important thing. And here the trucks are coming out then and distribute the tools to the two cities here. Now, all of this is very complicated. It would just be easier, right, to produce the tools here and get them to the city, but this would be less profitable and you would have too many small factories. I want to create huge factories with a lot of volume, and this is why we need to create these constructs here. Because with that, the tool factory gets 2 additional customers, right, and it can grow this way. Now this is all now functioning, right? This would be functioning. We get the tools over, we get the plastics back. But where do we get the plastics now? The plastics, we're gonna actually make even crazier now. Because the plastics come in here. This train station gets the tools out and the plastics in. Now we're switching platforms with the plastic, right? The plastic is going to get distributed to this second platform now that we're creating here. There you go. Right, and this plastic we're now delivering somewhere completely different. So we are gonna create this track here, and this track now kind of like merges with that platform here, or with that train station that we already have, not the station itself. I mean, actually we can do this. Yeah, let's merge them together. For this I will just need to add additional tracks here. This is a tiny station in comparison, it's crazy. Let's make this one a bit larger. And I just realized something. With this station here, is it right that we have... Yes, we have a... I think we do have a passenger platform here working. But it still works. And then we're gonna make the platform on that side too, to keep it clean, right? And then we have the tracks in here. And then we're gonna create a track outside, and this is the track that we connect, right? So let's just make sure that this works together. There's the plastic now coming out, coming together with this. Now, because of the curvature, this will not be super high speed, but 90 is still absolutely fine for cargo, right? Gets over, and here it merges then with that system that we already have. It's not the same track though, it's just alongside it, right? We can save some money with that, even though that's not the primary concern. We just keep it clean, right? Because I don't want to have too many tracks everywhere. So this goes up all the way here. And then we continue past this station here, right? Could be a bit tricky to realize. For that, we will need to expand this station again. Once again, this is way too small for the amount of stuff that we already get done here. So let's just expand the platform into this direction there. And then also the tracks. Problem is that ridiculous sawmill that is blocking me. For this, we are losing a bit of top speed here, right? So it's going down to 67. Yeah, down to 67 for a short time, right? Before we continue then onwards with a bit of a higher speed. And this track here now just moves along this river here, right? All the way up. Let's try to not make a bridge here. And always keep it leveled. That's the important thing. This will be a very long, very expensive train. So you always want to keep this one here leveled, which leads to a tiny bridge here, unfortunately, that I don't want. Yeah, where is it going, you may ask? And it's going to this goods factory. We haven't touched goods yet, and it's one of the more complex production chains in this game. It needs steel and plastic. So the plastics is coming in from the other end of the map with trains, but with very profitable trains. The goods factory can grow quite a few times, right? And this one can produce a lot of goods for basically the whole world. And that's what I want to achieve here. And we do get this cargo station. Now this will be a bit nasty because this is once again a bit on a hill, which makes the whole thing once again tricky for us. I can make the cargo here, but you get a lot of slope, a lot of hill. So we need to get rid of this road. This basic road won't do. Because I want to get my cargo station in the middle here. Only here do we have an acceptable elevation for me, right? That I can make do for trains. And then of course we need to make the connection here again with the two of them, and we will need a road connection then too. But that is something we can work on later. Let's get this one going for now. Oh, by the way, by removing the road here by the sawmill, we can get the top speed from 68 to 91, which is just totally fine for cargo. And I'm moving the cargo station actually down here, right? So this is the maximum distance we can have to the goods factory. And with that, we can also reduce some of the elevation there again. And with that, so we reduce the altitude to the cargo station. And with that, with 2 more bridges and a tunnel to get rid of this hill here, we can actually make this work with minimal slope. And this leads to 2.6 million in addition that we pay for this track system here. So this gets the plastics over and the goods back again home, right? With a ratio of 1:1. So for every plastic we bring in, we get 1 good out, so we transport away with the train. So this train also can go full in both ways. We're still missing the steel now. And the steel we have right here. There's a steel mill and it can be upgraded 3 times or 4 times. And it just needs a lot of copper and a lot of coal. Where do we have that? This is where things are getting a bit nasty. So we have copper here, copper here, copper here. Copper is fine to get in. Coal is not that fine. We got 1 copper, 1 coal here, 1 coal here, and that's it. 2 coal mines, unfortunately, that's it. I hope that another one appears at some point. 2 should be fine though, because that's 800 in total. That's 1,600 when we upgrade them in total. So this is a lot of coal. However, as you can see, we got this beautiful mountain there, and I certainly don't want to have a road going around that mountain. So this will be expensive for us because we want to make a straight tunnel from both of these directions. So let's just check it out if we can make this work. It's going to be a straight line from here all the way to here. And let's just see how that looks. The tunnel starts here right away. Great. So it disappears and it goes into this area where it creates a bridge. That is something I don't like. This would be the direct approach. The other approach is to create 2 tunnels and they're connecting somewhere here, right? With this, we can only see the trucks here a bit and that's it. We could even make this cleaner, I think, by creating this tunnel a bit further into that direction. Let's make sure that we level this one a bit. But we always want to stay in the mountain itself. I don't want to see those trucks here. I love mountains way too much for having trucks roaming around here. It's nasty though, as you can see, because the game cannot really cope with that much altitude change. We still stick around here. Of course, we are working with trucks, so as you also can see, there is too much slope here. So the best way to create this is having an end point and a beginning point and connecting the 2 of them, because the game tries then to stay on the same level and I don't need to fiddle around with that. So going to this point here costs me 10 million and then we would have a straight tunnel between the 2, right? And then we'd still need to connect those 2 here. It's not direct, so this will not be highly profitable, but this is not about profitability here. This is about nature and also, of course, about feeding my steel mill with coal. Okay, so this one goes over there. And I think we can make it work like this, right? So with that, let's get rid of this tunnel. And now it basically disappears here and goes then through a major tunnel system to the other side. And this whole area here stays clean. Very nice. For this copper mill, we do have a straight, or we do already have an existing line where there is also some traffic here. But this is not looking very efficient. So I would like to once again get rid of this road here. There you go, right? Remodel this one. We got a bit of an increase here of altitude, quite a bit, but it should be fine. And here, we're just going to make then the connection going over there. Oh, this would lead to a bridge. It's not very good looking right now. Perhaps we can make it use like so. This works out much better. And we're also connecting this in a more straight line. Of course, the rest we can get rid of so that this forest also is not broken apart by my road system. And all we need here is then a depot that delivers the coal in from the other side, right? And all we then need is another depot. I'm just gonna have this one beside this one to have it a bit cleaner looking, right? Because I want to have one depot for one product all the time. We don't want to have a traffic jam there. But the copper is coming in from that side and the steel is going out to that side. So traffic-wise, there's no problem. So the foundation has also been created and we can now start activating this whole route. And by the way, that's going to be my great central goods production that we have here. So the possibilities are endless, right? There is room for an airport to get the goods all across the map with a plane. And also we have access to the river and with that the ocean. And I can already see some cities here that require goods as well that we can deliver them with ships. All of that is possible once we level up this beauty here. Right now it's dead. The last few seconds where it is dead because now we're creating that massive production chain. First of all, we need to create the routes themselves. So we have the line 2 here. And since this is around the city Newcastle, we're just going to call all of this somehow Newcastle. So this is Newcastle coal 1, right? And then we got the Newcastle copper. And then we have the Newcastle to this one here, the Newcastle steel, where we transport this one down. And of course, we're going to use all the materials available here, all the platforms available to us. And this we can already activate, right? Of course, it's not going to be profitable at all, right? So once again, it's just there to activate the whole thing. We purchase the 3 for the coal, we purchase the 3 for the copper, and I'm going to purchase all the safe, always in the right moment. Purchase them for Newcastle steel, right? So now we get this one active. Now we should be then seeing coal, for example, piling up here in a short time. There it is. And also copper is piling up. Very good. This is working out as expected. Now comes the funky stuff, and that is the plastics all the way over here. This is all around leak. So yeah, we're just gonna have everything here called leak, and that is the raw oil that we have up there. So that is leak oil 1. Very important, we need the customers. That is the tools that are coming in here. So we still need the drop-off points as well. So you need to really finish all of that. Otherwise, the factories will not produce for this destination. So in this case here, we get the tools in. They're coming from over there, right? So let's just see that we're gonna get this one in here. And for Ollerton, gonna have the tools coming in from here. So we're also gonna say that the drop-off point is right there. Now the trucks are also assigned. Next in line, we got the train routes now. And train route number 1 is leak to the oil refinery, of course, right? Using platform 1. Very good. So this is leak oil train. There's only going to be one, right? So it's fine to call it like that. And this one is delivering the raw oil up and the refined oil down again. And I think there's really nothing else for this train route that we need to manage outside of creating us the train. And this is a short train, so I'm not going to go with a, very expensive one here. In fact, I could really just go with the cheapest one for now and we replace it down the road. Now let's go with the middle one, right? It's fine. Let's go with the middle one and let's say capacity 72. 5 million that is already, so this was actually really expensive. This one's coming out. I think we cannot afford all of it. We'll just see how it goes. There it is, our next beauty. Boy, this is gonna be epic if all of that works out. We'll just see. Next line is the most important one. Next line is the one that really pushes us the money, and we're gonna use this train depot there, in fact. And this one delivers now the plastic from the leak to this train station, and from here the tools back again to leak, where we already have the tool to customer distribution active, right? So this one kicks in. We can actually make this a bit more precise and say, okay, in carded and transfer, only take tools, right? Do not take anything else except tools. That's the only thing that you can take. And in leak, before he takes actually oil or anything like that, just take plastics, please, right? So that's what you're about to do. And this is leak, tools, plastic. That's our number one. And then we have the other one that goes from Carterton, platform 2, all the way now all the way up here to my goods factory. There you go. And this one, how should we actually call this one? Let's call it the Carterton plastic goods train route, right? So that's the big one that goes all the way. And once again, we're only gonna say, please only load plastics in Carterton transfer. Get this up and only load me goods in Newcastle. Now we need to activate both the train routes, and yeah, I mean, theoretically, I should really go for the most expensive one right away, because that's exactly what we need. And then we need the car that takes both of them, right? So that's it, plastics and goods and tools. And I'm gonna add them, 24 capacity. Oh, the money's raking up there, easy, 80. Okay, let's go with 80 for this one. And then I actually need this train depot down here for the other train that we have. And that's also a very long one. So I'm also going to take the expensive one together with 72 boxes. Going to purchase me that. I'm going to put this one on the leak tools plastic. There you go. No error messages. That's a good sign. That these things are working. And look at those beautiful cars there. Okay, we might have exaggerated here. We'll just see, right? I mean, I do have no loan right now, so as an emergency, I could get some funding in again. The thing is that we have now a very, very complex route. Multiple stages, multiple trains, expensive trains. All of this needs to start kicking in. And I have no idea yet if this is really working. So this is going to take a lot of money. We have the customers. That's the most important thing. So the tool customers are there, right? That's fine. We still don't have goods customers. So we need the goods customers. There's the goods coming in again, right? They're coming in here. That means, first of all, I do need to have another road that we're going to have here then. And this is where we're going to have then our depot. Can I squeeze it in here? No, I could squeeze it in like this. Woodwork, don't have enough space though, so it's not ideal. So I rather go with, how can we make this one clean looking? Yeah, it could be here. It could actually be also here. Don't forget, an access to the ocean here is also very advisable, since there are goods then that we can load. But the real question is, who's the biggest goods consumer right now? Islington has need for a lot of goods, 115, right? That's a lot. Amble is close by and has 43, so this is also a potential big customer. Carterton grew and just got the goods, right? So it's very low on that right now, so yeah, it's not going to be a big customer. However, Islington, I would probably really like to get going with this. So Amble and Islington. Now for Islington, we need the docks. Isn't that great? We have already a route going to this one. So I'm gonna take a drop off for Amble. Where's the road coming in? The road is coming here to the main street. Yeah, there's nothing really else that we can do there, right? It's just dropping it off there. And then for the other one, we don't need anything else. We have the ports already working for Islington. Islington is getting attached here. Where's the goods demand? Oh, it's on the other side. Not ideal, but not even a single one gets actually attached to this dock. It's all construction materials. Can't be true, right? Some of them must be connected. I think we will need to, not ideal, but I think we'll need to create our own network here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get me a depot going, a road depot. And we're gonna create a truck station. So this is very unfortunate. I thought this would not be necessary, but I think it is for such a small island. And then we need a drop off for the goods on the other side, over here somewhere. There you go. And then we just create the Islington good transfer, right? Islington goods. And Carterton Islington goods and Carterton goods Amble is the customer deliveries, right? So now we have it all connected. Now we also have the customers as an endpoint to all of this. And yeah, this will take some time, right? My money is not looking good right now. We can also have a look at the lines themselves. the losses that we are bringing in right now because of that, right? So my trains are deep red. However, we still also have very profitable routes that counter this for now. And we'll just see. But of course, with no risk comes no reward, so want to make sure that we get some risk going here. All right. Tools are coming in already at the station. How's it looking up here? As planned, all the oil is coming in and all the refined oil is already coming to the plastics factory. And there's the plastic. Now that the coal is standing and the copper is lying around, we can now really scale it up, right? So now we got it activated and only now do I really push in the vehicles here. So let's just put it up to 33. Looks like a war, an invasion that I'm starting here. And also look at that. This leak chemical plant here that produces the plastics has no full shipment. That means the customer, Newcastle under Lyme, so Newcastle Plastics Factory, a goods factory, has been acknowledged as a customer, right? Even though it's almost at the other end of the map. But this has been acknowledged, and with that, all of this is now starting to work. Now the thing with something like this is it takes a long time to set up and a long time to work in, right, to fully function. But once everything works here, these are the highest profit lines that you can have in the game. Like this is gonna rake in millions when it works, once it works. And you can create some truly epic long trains with that. And this is the goal. While we wait for the lines to fully function, let's have a look at Haywood, our very first city that we activated, kind of like. And yeah, it's also time for public transportation to start. Now, we're starting, of course, with transportation within the city on a smaller scale. And for this means that we need some buses going. So we do have a passenger transportation system here. The bus tram stops we can now activate, like the bus stop number 1. And all we really need to do is creating a loop that is potentially very profitable, taking in most of the city, right? So we're starting our loop here, right? Then it goes around through the city, I guess. So probably up here. Goes around here, through the center, and then here once again. Right? So that's already our very first loop. And let's just have a look at that. Bus, 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 bus. Through Haywood all the way. The cool thing is you can then expand this network here to also connect it with the docks, to connect it with a train station or something like that. And we're going to call this one Haywood Bus 1. Now we just need a bus. Let's have a look what we got so far. We do have the stagecoach. That was the original one. We don't have any bus with a diesel at the moment, right? So that's not possible. Oh yeah, there it is. Le Buisson und Landauer. It's called 654. So this is the best one that we can do. It's also the one that costs the most though. But for starters, it's fine. Let's activate 2 on this one. Haywood Bus 1. And there it is. After delivering 271,000 goods around the world, we're now also starting to get the passenger counter up with those sexy machines. Look at that. We don't even need horses. We are just skipping the horses when it comes to public transportation. Off they go. This horse is a bit slower. If we had 4 lanes, they would actually overtake them. What I can do though is, of course, we're also gonna replenish all of them now here with the cargo diesel. Alright, this should speed things up a bit. And this is also something here that we should... There's this, the city starting, essentially. Right, so this is why the street changes there automatically. And this is just city life now here. Right, so it has changed already quite a bit. In the beginning there was just a few horses and now we got these beautiful cars everywhere. And you know, the cool thing is these are really simulated, right? So this is not just some no-name, but this Mohammed guy, Mohammed Smith he's called, what the hell? He is going to a commercial building right now. If we had transportation, he would take it probably. And if we look at the center here, that's city life in 1901. Evie Johnson going to her home. And Stanley is also going home. beautiful. I love it. I really do. As we're now starting to also interact with the cities themselves. And of course, just connecting this within the city is not enough, right? So the first people are already waiting. So let's just zoom in there real quick. Oh, there's a lot of people waiting here already for the bus, right? And these people are now being transported around. Oh, look at that. The city likes it a lot because it creates now new buildings out of that. That means, thanks to public transportation, Haywood is growing now. We should be seeing this here. There it is. Public transportation plus 20% in addition. So Haywood grows towards 500 there right now. A very small city still. Now, of course, we could use this bus station here to connect Haywood with the next bigger city, Leeds. Leeds is also growing towards 500 people right now. So it makes sense to me to have a bus station in here that connects now that city. And let's have that bus station somewhere here. Right? Because we can also create a Leeds public transportation from here to, let's make it here to probably here. So this is once again a loop. Let's actually make this one right away. The reason why I'm taking this road here as well, there might be a harbor at some point, right? So we can then use this one. Leeds bus 1. And then I would like to take these both central stations. Oh, wait a second. We could also take this one. Let's take the central one, this one, and connect Leeds with Haywood. And we're going to take this one. Yeah, the fastest way out again. Leeds, Haywood, bus 1. There you go. Get us the bus going for this. So first of all, let's create 2 for the Leeds bus 1. That we have. And then I'm gonna create, let's make 4 right away for the, because I'm expecting quite some traffic there, for the Leeds Haywood bus 1. Of course, with those buses, with those trucks, you will not be able to do that much just yet. But it's a start. It's a start to also grow these cities more. And I'm totally expecting a lot of people that want to take this route. And here we have it, past 500 for the Haywood bus transfer. We're also pushing past 30% now with public transportation. And I think there are the first passengers. It's getting a bit busy now on these roads. So this is another project entirely upgrading the country roads. Because traffic is increasing. And what we can also see here is that that horse is just too slow for this time. Right, so he's got no problem in the world, of course. And the problem is this is a public person, Theo, so I cannot upgrade him or anything like that. And there's the same thing. So this is the thing that happens now with the transitional age, right, between the horses and the steam. And you just get this. Can't be avoided, unfortunately. I can, and what I could do, I can upgrade this public road to a large country road. Right, with this, we get 4 lanes out of that. So this could be the first highway. And look at that, they're now changing lanes and overtaking the horse. This is new with the latest update that the game received. That wasn't possible before. And this is just great, I think. And with that, we're also creating now the first highway between 2 cities, Haywood and Leeds. And let's just go ahead and have this one here also upgraded. Even though that is not a proper looking highway, right? So we will need to straighten this out at some point. Not now though. Gonna continue here and then probably also here into the city, and that's it. And here it then turns into a normal street again. Looks a bit nasty right now. Oh boy, this is really great. I hope you enjoyed this one, Transport Fever 2, and we are only still at the beginning of this beautiful game. Don't forget to leave a like behind. Thanks for watching. Onwards to the next episode. Stay tuned.